For all the people who judge without knowing, just throw the peace sign, tell them good vibes only, yeah. They were hating, but we didn't even notice, cause we're on them good vibes only, yeah. The shit gets wavy, like we're in the ocean, cause we're on them good vibes only, yeah. For all the people who judge but don't know me, I just throw the peace sign, tell them good vibes only.
What plans did I have for after high school, and did I follow through with them? So originally, there's two separate sets of plans. Originally, my plan was that I was going to get a soccer scholarship, and I was going to play soccer in college, and then I was going to go be a pro soccer player, and I was going to be awesome and get rich. And that didn't happen because I tore my ACL in high school just before my senior season. I didn't get a chance to play and have anybody come out and watch me play to get me a scholarship. I got offered like a little bit of money to go to this one private school because my coach talked to their coach and showed him old videos, but I wasn't able to play my senior season, so they couldn't come and visit me. So that didn't work. I didn't follow through with that one. But my other plan was I applied to the University of Kentucky, and I got offered a diversity scholarship. It was basically their version of affirmative action. But it was a free ride. I got a free ride to the University of Kentucky, a full ride scholarship, and it was awesome. I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to go to a good university. I'm going to study sociology. I'm going to get my degree, and I'm going to go to law school and be a lawyer. That'll make me money. Too easy. Didn't follow through with that one either. My whole life, my mom was always in my corner, helping me, pushing me, making sure that I did the stuff that I needed to do, because I'm very forgetful. I mean, even doing these videos, it took me probably a month to actually sit down and do them. But I didn't follow through with the college plan either because I wasn't autonomous enough to take care of myself in college. I wasn't able to make sure that I went to my own classes. I didn't get up on time. I didn't do my homework. I didn't study. I lost my scholarship after the first semester. It was horrible. And my mom was furious, but she paid for me to go back the second semester and work to get my scholarship back, which I didn't do. So I had to drop out of school. And that when I dropped out of school, and my mom came to pick me up, my family came to pick me up, I'm in my grandmother's guest room on the bed crying, and my mom just walked in and was like, "What are you crying for? You the one that lost it. You had a whole 2 months, 3 months to go to those classes and you didn't. Ain't no point in crying now. Looks like you're about to join the Air Force." And that was it. That was her response was join the Air Force. You didn't do college, join the Air Force. So we went to the Air Force recruiter. This is are you currently doing what you plan to do after high school? And if not, why? No, I'm not. The why is because I failed out of college. Went to the Air Force recruiter, and they were stuffy. Didn't really like them. But I made an appointment anyway. I walked in and they were like, "Hi, do you have an appointment?" And I'm like, "No, this isn't a doctor's office. I'm coming to sign my life away. Why are you asking me if I have an appointment? You should be grateful that I'm giving me to you." And they didn't see it that way, obviously. But so we made an appointment, and then we walked next door to the Army recruiter. So we walked in, they were like, "Hey, what's going on?" And I was like, "Okay, I like this place a lot better." So I signed up for the Army, and I took the ASVAB test. I did well. Then took the DLAB test, did well. And the ASVAB's the aptitude test. The DLAB is their language aptitude tests. I did well on both of them, so I joined the Army and became a translator. In hindsight, I like learning languages. I love working with languages, and when I was a kid, I wanted to be a translator. So in actuality, I didn't do what I planned to do after high school, but I did fulfill a childhood dream of being a multilingual translator. So it's a win. I like it, and I'm really happy. Um, don't get me wrong, being in the Army does suck, but I'm happy for the life that it gave me.
I guess I kind of did. I didn't really have a plan. I didn't know what I wanted to do, so I was like, let me go to college for 4 years and I'll figure it out by then. And then while I was in college, I was like, all right, I still don't know what I want to do, but let me do this Army thing. And, maybe by the end of that, I'll figure out what I want to do. And then fast forward those 4 years after I get out, and I'm like, I still don't know what I want to do.
So I wound up joining the military. I was kind of familiar with it because my dad is an MP, and that lifestyle was kind of something I was accustomed to. So I joined, and I met beautiful Ashley later on in the service as an intelligence analyst. And man, it was very stressful, but in those small moments of peace, I found myself over a hot stove, just whipping up food, and it kind of dawned on me that my peace comes from feeding people. And I think it's mostly because it's like the one time everybody can shut up and enjoy something. But just seeing everybody just silently content and messing around with all these recipes and being almost like a modern day alchemist. It's super, super cool.
After high school, what did I plan to do? So after high school, I only applied to one college, and I was pretty sure I was getting in, and I did get in. I got accepted under a program where I had to take some remedial math classes and an English class, and but I got in, and I was dead set on psychology. I wanted to be a psychologist and work with families and people and just help other people that dealt with the issues I dealt with growing up. And I lasted there like a year and a half. But it just started becoming too much. My family wasn't really able to help me with anything school-wise, so I worked while I went to school, and then over the summer I worked a couple jobs, and it just got to the point, my third semester or whatever, into my second year, I couldn't do it anymore, and that's when I ended up joining the Army. And I did finish my bachelor's in psychology. Once I got in the Army, they have a tuition assistance program, and it pays for like up to 6 classes a year. So I was able to do that and complete an associate's and a bachelor's degree before I got out. So, my plans definitely changed. And I used to be so rigid back then. I was like, this is what I have to do. And yeah.
What adventure after high school scared me the most? I didn't know. Both. I didn't know what adventure would scare me the most, and I didn't know how to deal with the things that were going to scare me, because I had a good mom. I had a really good mom in the sense of she protected me and she took care of me. But at the same time, there were a lot of things that she put forth effort to set up for me, but I wasn't paying attention, or I didn't understand the gravity of what she was trying to set up. Like, I didn't understand how bank accounts worked, even though she tried to explain it to me. I just wasn't paying attention. I didn't understand the purpose of credit or how credit worked. I didn't know how renting worked or anything like that. And so a lot of the things that scared me about being an adult were just simply all of the responsibilities that come with being an adult that you don't have to think about as a kid. Like, who needs a checkbook? Turns out checks are pretty useful. I've come to learn the use of them. Who needs a credit card? Why would you get a credit card? I just talked to family members this weekend who told me that they don't have credit cards and they're in their mid-20s because they don't know what a credit card is for or the benefits of a credit card because it was never explained to them, and it wasn't explained to me either. I learned it over time, like so many other people. I think that the thing that scared me most after high school, the only thing that scared me was the unknown. That a lot of adults talk about how difficult it is being an adult, how easy kids have it. But as a kid, you're sitting there looking at your surroundings, all of the pressure that's on you for success, the pressure that's on you for social success, and the promises that are there for the future, the things that you can do, but all of that stuff's weighing on you. And then this adult who has all the responsibility, they're supposed to have it all figured out, and they tell you that being an adult is hard and that kids have it easy. What do you mean I have it easy? Do you know what they're saying about me in school? What do you mean I have it easy? Do you realize how much homework I have? But looking back now, being a kid was easy. I wish I had appreciated it more. I swear. I didn't realize like what comes with being an adult. Paying rent is always a hassle and a burden. And they say, oh, well, why don't you buy your home? Then you're going to have to pay a mortgage. It's not like you stop paying for the house. Because unless you're rich, you're not going to be able to pay for a $500,000 house outright. So paying rent is a thing that you're always going to have. Paying taxes is a thing that you always have to do. Taking care of your utilities. And the fact is, the more lights you have on in the house, the higher your electricity bill. The longer your shower, the higher your water bill. You start to realize how that works and how it affects you more once you're the one paying the bill. Yeah. So the thing that scared me most after high school was just having to do it all for myself.
What adventure after high school scared me the most? I can tell you the scariest moment I had after high school. I think it was just like after I joined the service, finally finding out that you're going to get deployed. And not even just like the announcement itself, but right when I was boarding the plane, it's probably the scariest moment I ever had in my entire life. Because it's like the reality of all the stigma and the fear and people saying like you're gonna die and and people coming back with not having everything that they left with really kind of dawned on me, and I had like a sense of existential dread. But yeah, that was short lived. I think that lasted like maybe like a couple hours, and then just accepting the reality that really you have no control over when your expiration date is up. So just kind of, enjoy the time you have and make those moments count.
Am I currently doing what I plan to do after high school? Definitely not. So after I got out of the Army, I went to school to be a veterinary technician, and I did that for a year. And then some issues came up, and I ended up fostering my niece and nephew for a year. And so I kind of moved away from the veterinary field, and I got just a part-time job being a caretaker. So my niece and nephew they were in a lot of just different kind of therapies, which like occupational therapy, physical therapy, speech therapy. And so it was just too hard to work a full-time job with. They were 1 and 2 when they moved in, and I don't have kids, and I never really planned to have kids. So that was probably one of the hardest years of my life. It took a lot out of me, and a lot of things changed. So it definitely was a very hard year for me. Within that year, I bought a house, and I moved. I was living out by Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and then so I moved closer to my family because I really wanted to start rekindling those relationships or establishing them because there wasn't really any relationships. My cat.
Working with the transit agency that I'm in right now. And there's another guy in there who is a veteran also. And he told me, James, a lot of people, their first gig is in transit, but it's usually their last gig. And I realize now why he said that in helping people, seemingly as something as simple as getting from point A to point B, impacts their lives on such a huge level. And in the county that we live in Florida, with how impoverished they are, it's some people's only ways to get from point A to point B. So that need to help people fulfilled my need. I guess I'm not serving my country anymore. I'm now serving my city and my county.
After high school, yeah, I think I kind of touched on that one. I didn't really have any plans. Cooking and traveling was just something that I fell into. It turned into a passion of mine, and I decided to pursue it. It was something that I was rather good at, and people wanted to pay me for it, so that's what I did.